And hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. Tonight, I have Tomeka with me, and tonight we are going to be reviewing Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. I'm excited to be able to do this review. Going ahead, sit back, relax, and we're going to go through this movie scene by scene. I hope that you guys enjoy it. Without further ado, let's go on ahead, let's get on with the show, and let's do it. And hey, Tomeka, how are you?
Nothing's going on here.
Nothing's going on? Sure. I think I saw new camera angles going on
What are
over
you
there.
talking about? Nothing to see here, sir.
For audio listeners, Tamika's over there trying to make different camera angles like she's Steven Spielberg. So,
Camera 1, camera 2.
camera 2, action. Okay.
Okay.
But it's always a good day to be able to talk about Home Alone. And we actually did our first Home Alone review for Home Alone 1. Now we're doing Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. And I really like Home Alone 2 a lot more than I do Part 1. And yes, I understand people are like, well, the first one felt a little boring for them. It was a little slow pace and stuff like that. We actually had someone in the comment section last week that said that. I'm like, well, in order for us to get sold on these characters, you have to have some kind of character development to make us care about Kevin, to make us care about Buzz. Without those beats, you don't have a solid movie at all or anything either. So you have to have that. So with Part 2 and everything, you just pick up a year later, and once again, Kevin's left behind, but this time he's left behind in an airport. But you didn't see this movie in the theater, right?
No, unfortunately.
So what was your initial thoughts when you first seen it?
It was VHS, and my initial thought was I want a talk boy, which I think that's what it is.
Yeah, it's a talk boy.
I want to go to New York. I want to go to the Plaza Hotel. I want cheese pizza, and I want to try those traps to capture criminals. Those were my initial thoughts.
You see, get this. My mom went all over Walmart for a talk boy.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know what a talk boy was.
What?
And then let me explain. Okay. Oh. So I didn't know what Kevin was using to record or anything like that. And I didn't even know they even made this for the kids or anything like that either, up until my mom wanted me to get a talk boy. And she was looking all over Toys R Us for one, Walmart. It was in the middle of Christmas. And it was like a really hot commodity. So my mom finally got me a talk boy. And on Christmas Day, I opened it up. I ended up having my first talk boy. And let me just tell you this. I was recording everything that I could find. Including my grandfather cussing on the phone and everything, too.
Oh,
so I got conversations that shouldn't be being recorded. Let me just say that.
I wanted one so bad. Because the commercials would come on every 5 minutes. And I'm like, oh, I want to talk boy. I want to talk boy. Of course, my mom's like, I don't know if I have money for that. No. I was like, Jesus. I don't even know. Probably eBay. Probably can get it on eBay now.
Yeah, you can probably get that on eBay now. Easy to find, along with the Turbo Man doll from Jingle All the Way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Wrong.
But yeah, guys. So like I said, it takes place 1 year. So anyways, let's go ahead. Let's strap into this. Okay. So grab your talk boy. Get ready for a wild ride as we unpack Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. In this podcast review, we're cracking in on Kevin McAllister's Big Apple adventure. Spoiler alert, it involves more mischief than a pigeon-filled Plaza hotel room. Stay tuned for a comedic take on the holiday classic that's anything but checked in the lobby of seriousness. So, like I mentioned before, this takes place a year after.
Oh, it was a year?
Yeah, it was actually a year. So they didn't even learn anything within the last Christmas that they left Kevin behind and Christmas time.
It was a year.
Yep. And once again, well, like I said, mistakenly left at home during McAllister family's Christmas vacation into Paris. The family gathers at Peter and Kate's home to prepare for their vacation. This time they're going to Miami. They're keeping in the States. Kevin feels resentful of his trip as Florida lacks Christmas trees, and Kate suggests finding a nice big silver tree or a decorated palm tree. Yeah, that's really creative. After Peter analogy resets the alarm clock by removing the camcorder battery from its charger, he instructs Kevin to get ready for his school's Christmas concert. Kevin goes into the bathroom to get his tie as his Uncle Frank sings in the shower to Cool Jerk. But later catches him and angrily says to leave, threatening to slap him silly. So, what did you think of the opening scene where you see everybody
Oh my
packed?
God. John, John, I just I put the closed captions on everything now, right?
Mhm.
It was to this day, this day in history that I found out what the lyrics were to that song. This whole time I thought he was saying I thought he said I'm the king of the coochie. And I was like, oh, that's a lot for a children's movie. To this day, on this very day, I found out it's cool jerk, not coochie.
But you see, I actually heard this song before, so I was actually okay with it.
I did. I was like, oh, okay. It's a little
That's where you
much
want to
for
be,
a
Frank. That's
children's
fine, you
song.
know.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
you do you, Frank. That's fine if you're the king of the coochie, you know.
If you sing it with that word, it's a whole new meaning.
Yeah, it gives it a whole new meaning to pop that coochie.
Yeah.
And I'm the king of the
Coochie,
coochie. But anyways,
coochie.
but no, Kevin once again winds up talking to his mom, and his mom, Kate, is sitting on the bed with him. She goes, Kevin, did you pack all your stuff? And he winds up talking to the talk boy. He goes, yes. And then, yes. And then you have that whole entire thing with the talk boy. And then he has like a clown air up balloon thing that she got him.
Yeah.
And that would actually be going in the trash.
Yes, that was the grandparents. They always send him crazy stuff, and they gave him that inflatable Bozo the clown,
Yeah, it was an
cool
inflatable
boy or
Bozo the
something.
Clown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I okay. So you were talking about the dad, right? So he
Right.
was unplugging. He unplugged the alarm clock. I appreciate John Hughes. John Hughes Moore and Chris Columbus. They set up everything. They set up the whole scenario. The dad unplugs the alarm clock, and you go, "Ooh, that can't be good," you know. And then, what else happens? Oh, like skipping ahead, where Kevin got lost his family in the airport,
Right.
and he was like,
But
"Oh, I need some batteries or whatever." But we'll get to that later. But
right, we'll get there. We'll get there.
everything was set up so nicely, like, okay, this is gonna happen. Then you get like the wet bandits broke out. You're like, oh my God, that's not
What's
good.
gonna happen?
Yeah, everything it just comes into place.
Oh, Derpy's back again. Hey, Derpy, it's great to actually have you
Yay.
commenting. We do appreciate that. Kevin, you spent $967 on a room service. Classic. It is. I wonder how much inflation would be now. God knows how much he would actually ended up expending now compared to
Yes,
what he was doing in the 90s.
as a kid, I was like, wow, that's a lot of money.
And at first, as a kid, I was thinking to myself, that's actually pretty cool. This stuff is just free. They just give you free shit if you're rich. And then you realize, oh, he spent money. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, inflation and everything. Yeah, I was trying to look at the Plaza Hotel to see how much the rooms are now, but I didn't get a chance to.
But okay, so I want to also talk about this. I like how Kevin calls Frank out on his own BS again.
Yes,
I love it. He goes, God forbid you should miss a trip to Florida, you cheapskate.
yes. I was like, tell him, Kevin. And once again, he insulted Kevin. I forgot what he called him, but I don't know how the parents are just letting the uncle call him anything out of his name.
Exactly. Don't worry, the 90s crackhead dad will cover it, remember?
No, we
I love
don't.
it. But this is something else I want to talk about, okay? So they're going over to this recital, and we start off with this nice Christmas play with them singing about a Christmas tree. Buzz is over there doing a drum solo on Kevin's head with his plastic candles. Frank's over there laughing his ass off at what Buzz is doing to Kevin. Kate is seeing what's being done to Kevin. She doesn't like what's going on with Kevin. So then he pushes Buzz, which also causes the whole entire school play to collapse like dominoes. And the Christmas tree falls on top of the piano teacher. The piano teacher winds up, not the piano teacher, but the piano
you're right.
music teacher. The music teacher winds up falling backwards because of the fact that the Christmas tree fell on her. And then she falls off the stage.
Yes.
My first initial thought is, okay, why is she on the edge of the stage?
I don't know, but it was funny.
It was.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell?
Hey, we're no longer wet bandits. We're now sticky bandits. Yes. Yes, Derby. Sticky bandits. Sticky icky. But, I definitely like that whole entire opening scene with the thing because of the fact that now there's a reason for him to be punished again. There's a reason that Buzz is causing conflict again. And Kate is seeing everything that's going down. But yet she still wants to punish Kevin. Yeah, he should get a little bit of punishment, but he should not have to apologize to Buzz for pushing him after what Kate witnessed. Yeah, and then he also winds up insulting him again.
Yeah, he stood up for himself. He said, "I'm not going to apologize to him because he humiliated me, and you guys are always falling for it." And once again, they're like, "Oh, Kevin." I mean, I assume they had plenty of fights like this. So I don't know why she doesn't see through Buzz. I don't know.
Because he's the oldest, I guess.
A great manipulator.
Mm-hmm.
And he gaslights his mom or something, but all the anger goes to Kevin. And I don't understand that family dynamic.
I don't either. That's just messed up that you're allowing Buzz to be the older douchebag brother to Kevin and not allowing him to be able to stand up for himself and punishing him.
Yeah, usually it's the youngest who gets away with everything. So this dynamic just turned on his head. So it's very
definitely.
Yeah.
Then the family gathers in the living room to discuss the incident, and Buzz apologizes to Kevin and the rest of the family, but after Buzz calls him a little trout sniffer, Kevin angrily refuses to accept Buzz's apology or apologize to Buzz for hitting him. He ends up being disgusted with the family's decision to go to Florida for the holidays, spending Christmas in a tropical climate, before storming up to the third floor after Peter warns Kevin that if he leaves, he'll be sleeping on the third floor with Fuller. Frank threatens Kevin that he better not ruin his trip with Kevin, replying that he wouldn't want to spoil his fun and calling Frank Mr. Cheapskate. Shocking Frank and Buzz replying, "What a trouble, young man," as Kevin is in the third floor groaning in frustration about the family. Kate catches up wearing Kevin and states that he wishes that he had his own money so he could go on his own vacation by himself and have the best time of his life. Mm-hmm. After Kevin still refuses to apologize to Buzz and doesn't want to go downstairs anyway, as he cannot trust anybody in his family, Kate reminds him that his wish to be alone came true the previous year, so his wish to go on vacation alone might come true again this time, which Kevin replies angrily, agitated, "I hope so." Let's hold on. Derby has some other stuff that he wants to say too. Home Alone 3 is good, and you have no soul if you don't think so.
That's a story I guess we don't have no soul.
No, it wasn't like this on our honeymoon. Okay. Harry was no longer the way. Okay, so we already established that. So, okay, so this whole entire thing with Frank and then trying to threaten him with Fuller again and stuff like that is just messed up, you know?
Mm. Yeah, and that kid still is drinking. He's wetting the bed. And I'm like, okay, so he still got issues nobody's addressing. He's still
And here's another thing, though, too.
kissing the
Nobody learned
bed.
their lesson from like last year, treating
No,
Kevin like crap.
no, no, they didn't. I guess that's normal. We just never learn. We just
Keep
continue
doing
our mistakes. Yeah, like that boy probably pissing in the bed to this day.
exactly. And he's like, I'm just waiting for Kevin so I can just go on and piss all over him.
Yeah, and by the way, how much does he pee if if he sleeps under him? It's just gonna be
This
like
is
a
gonna go on
water,
ahead and go right through
yeah, like a
uh-uh.
water bed that exploded. It's
A
just gonna,
pissy waterbed is what it would
yeah.
be.
Good
And I,
lord,
I don't want no part of a pissy waterbed.
that boy is trouble.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, okay, rush for the flights. The next day, the McAllisters analogy oversleeps because of Peter's accidentally unplugging the alarm clock the night before. The rush through the airport to make their flight, with Peter letting Kevin hold his travel bag, and Kevin slows down while getting batteries for his talk boy. As family continues to rush ahead, as his family makes their flight, Kevin sees a man wearing a similar coat and haircut to Peter and follows him towards a flight to New York City. In the rush, he drops his boarding pass and explains the situation. He is then boarded, unaware that he is on a flight bound to New York. As for the plane starts to move, Kevin asked a man sitting next to him if he has ever been to Florida. But the man speaks French in reply, which Kevin does not understand and begins to listening to some music on his talk boy. On the other plane, Pierre reassures Kate that they have nothing to worry about during the trip, unaware that Kevin is on another plane.
Yes.
So once again, we get the same beat by beat of the first one. You have the coastliners, which that's what I'm calling them, even though that's what we call them in our airport, which is the people that pick you up.
Oh,
Crashes into the little statue. They go. This time, Kevin's actually there. He picks up his ticket. They're
that's
doing the
good.
head count. The head count checks out this time, and this time he wants batteries for his talk boy,
Which he should have put in while he was in the van.
or just wait like his father told him to do.
Yes, this time I blame Kevin.
This
Okay.
time was Kevin's fault.
Yes,
I
it
even
was.
admit to that.
Yes, it was. He's like, Kevin, I'll give you some on the plane. Now I want it now. I understand why parents have leashes on
Me
children
too.
because I've been in airports and I've run like across airports to catch a flight. It's chaotic and you got little kids and you want them to keep up with you. How many kids would be left behind like that?
A
They're just
lot.
like running and everybody has to keep up with everybody and it's chaotic.
Not only that, but some airports look like damn giant ass shopping malls and stuff like that
Yes.
too.
Yes.
Like I forgot what airport I was back in the 90s. That one airport looked like a damn shopping mall. It didn't even look like an airport.
No. No. Yeah, if you have little kids, even if they're 10, I think Kevin was 10 in this, even if they're 10, like here go a leash or I'm grabbing you because me and you running together. We're not
I
gonna
would be
leave.
if he stopped, I would have been yanking him to come forward.
Yeah. Well, he kind of was like looking behind him, but the dad was focused on catching up with everyone else. You
Right,
know,
because
we're
of the
all
plane,
trying
which
to,
is
yeah,
normal.
yeah, we're all trying to get on this plane and it's about to take off. But man, it's
Then
scary being a parent.
it
Just
really is. And the whole entire thing, what's the odds of Peter him running into the same guy that has the same haircut and also the same coat as his father? What's the odds of Kevin running into someone like that?
that happened to me, but not in the airport. I was in the video store and I thought this lady was my mom She had the same coat on and stuff. I was like, Mom. And the lady was like, Who? I said, Oh my God. And my mom was like, Mika, I'm over here. I was like, Don't do this to me anymore. It happens, you know.
You're not my mama. But no,
Yeah.
I could just see though.
Dad, wait up. You know.
Wait up, Dad. I gotta put batteries in my talk boy. Where are you going?
Yeah.
Why do
And
you
then
have to
he
be
was
like that, Dad? Hold on. I have to record something important.
Man.
But he goes on ahead. He runs. He bangs into the boarding pass woman who's trying to board the plane. He knocks the tickets out of her hands.
Yeah.
And you know, I still don't understand how she didn't pick up on that though. Too was like, wait, I can't find his ticket anywhere. But at that point, everybody has a schedule to keep though too, as well. So they're like, well, I'm just gonna have to go ahead and let him in because we have to get the plane going.
Yes, but I don't know if that would have happened on other airlines. So I'm surprised American Airlines allowed that to be portrayed. They're like, American Airlines, you don't have a boarding pass? Come on.
No problem. Okay. No boarding pass, no nothing. Come on, come as you are.
Figure it out later.
We'll figure this out. We'll set you up. You'll be fine.
Most airlines now, they're like, oh, we're gonna find your parents. You sure that's your dad? Yeah.
He's right over here.
Yeah. That's my dad over there. Not let's take the child to the man. Sir, is this your son?
Like, look, we have to let him sit down somewhere because we have a schedule to keep.
Which shows you the adults are always in a hurry. They never take their time. They never are aware of what's going on around them.
No, because they're so busy wrapped up in their own things to the point where everything comes secondary. Yes. And everything. So Kevin's not that important to them. Their agenda is to get to Florida, and that's it.
I think,
and they're also late because of the whole camcorder issue because of Peter.
Yes. I think in all John Hughes movies, he shows that the adults are just for themselves. Mm-hmm. They're oblivious to what's going on around them.
Although I would have to say Uncle Buck isn't like that, though. I don't think.
Uncle Buck is special. He not special in a bad way, but special in a good way. He's more in tune with the children, you know.
Another thing too is just to back up for 1 minute. Then you also see the newspaper clipping of the wind blowing, and then you see you see Marv and Harry, the little little newspaper clipping of them breaking out.
Yes.
So that sets the tone of, oh crap, Kevin's in trouble if he runs into them. But anyways, he goes on, and then of course he's talking to this one guy who's talking in French on the plane. So I was thinking it would be interesting if he went to Paris instead of New York.
Oh, man, that would have been messed up.
Right, because it would actually have the same beat as the first one where the parents were going to Paris.
Yeah.
And this time Kevin's going to Paris instead of the parents. But
yeah. But I was just thinking about like being on the plane. I guess now I'm thinking about now. You know, they tell you, hey, silence your whatever devices or whatever.
Electronic devices.
Yeah, when they're making announcements so you can hear what's going on.
Kevin didn't care. He didn't care. He wanted just to go ahead and listen to his Christmas music and just tune out the French guy because he didn't want to bother with him. He's sitting in coach. He doesn't have time for that. So if everybody dies, oh well, at least he has his music.
Flight to New York. Just sitting there bobbing. All right, I'm going to New York.
That's my dad over there.
That's my dad. Right? He's over there.
That's my dad. That's my dad.
All right. This guy's still talking. Let me crank the volume up to 1000. I think there's a 1000, whatever. Anyway.
Derby says American Airlines is mid.
Aww.
I have to admit, back in the 90s, though, it used to be really good. I used to fly out of American Airlines and everything.
Yeah,
to
American
Boston.
Airlines were making bank with this movie.
Hmm. I don't know if they were sponsored. I don't know if Home Alone 2 was actually sponsored by American Airlines this time. I know the first one was.
Oh, it was. It had to be right. They,
I think maybe. I don't know. I don't remember.
they used their plane.
Right.
I'm.
Maybe.
It's been so long since I saw the VHS. You know how you were talking last time, how they had those commercials come on before the movie.
Right.
I don't know if the Plaza Hotel came on before the movie or American Airlines.
Well, it was always. I don't think the Plaza ever did come on. It was always like the American Airline commercial that came on or whatever. I
Yeah.
think. But anyway, but here's the thing: both planes land in their respective destinations. Kevin ends up in New York with the father's travel bag and wallet, and finally discovers his family are nowhere to be seen, wondering where they could be in Miami. The family retrieves their luggage and Kevin's travel bag, only to discover that Kevin did not make the trip to Miami. And Peter replying, "What?" causing Kate to scream Kevin's name and faint. Kevin! The McAllisters then file a report to the Miami airport, and I have to say, this police uh, police department is a whole lot better than what we got from the first movie.
Yes.
To file a report to Miami Airport Police on Kevin's absence, as well as mentioning that Kevin was accidentally left at home last year. And the police tell the McAllisters that they will relay their report to the police in Chicago, thinking he would not be anywhere else. After it is confirmed that he is not in Chicago, the Miami police inform his parents that they will have to be able to contact them. Peter reveals that he does not have his wallet, which contains a family photo and loads of cash from Tony Soprano. Checks and credit cards are members that Kevin was looking cards, and remembers that Kevin was looking for batteries and therefore has his wallet and travel bag. The Miami police starts that Kevin can still be tracked down if he tried using Tony Soprano's credit card. I mean, if he's tried using one of the credit cards, and Kate replies that she does not think Kevin knows how to use a credit card.
Yes.
So then, of course, like Derpy said, this is also where before that, we wound up having that nice classic line of the fact that my parents are is in Florida. I'm in New York. But I do like how the baggage claim is, everybody standing around getting their luggage, and everyone's like passing their luggage around, and then passes to Kevin, and then Fuller, little pissing, goes on, "Here you go, Kevin," and it's two old people.
They're like,
Kevin's not here.
Kevin's not here. And what was Buzz thinking about?
I don't know.
Pondering. He was like this the whole time, pondering. I was just wondering.
Is it me, or does he look like he was in a detective movie the whole entire time in this movie? Like the other scene when Kevin and them are having the confrontation at home, and he's sitting near the fireplace, and he has his tie on still from the recital.
Yeah.
He kind of has that little detective Clue kind of vibe.
Yeah, and that's going to be another fan theory. Is Buzz secretly a detective or work for the CIA or whatever?
No, but this is going to be the fan theory. Buzz is actually the detective from Knives Out.
Oh, ooh. Oh my God. No, he gotta have a southern accent. He's just portraying the character.
Right. Anyways, but then then it gets passed over to Kate, and then Kate goes, "Oh, Kevin's not here." And then passes out.
Yeah.
But I do have to say the police department's a lot more resourceful in this.
Which probably was intentional, that John Hughes is telling us everybody is more resourceful than the Chicago police.
Right.
That's what John Hughes said, not me. Don't blame me.
But what did you think of the fact that they actually openly admitted that they left their son last year?
Yeah, I had to say that policeman looks like Rob Schneider. He got that Rob Snyder vibe going on for me. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Um, yeah, they were like, luckily we don't leave our luggage. And I was like the policeman. I was like, wait, is that supposed to be a joke? I don't. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? You don't
And even the
deserve
cops didn't even
children.
find that funny though either.
You don't deserve children. You're
No,
like,
and that's
well,
exactly what they're thinking. He's like, wait, you left him there a year ago. Because
yeah,
remember, he said, did your child ever have any experiences of being left behind
yes.
or home alone? I'm like, well, we kind of left him alone by himself on an accident last year.
Mm-mm. But we
Like,
don't lose our luggage.
ah.
Oh, jeez. It's become they say a McAllister travel tradition.
Only a 1 year travel. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
every
It'll
year
be,
we leave Kevin somewhere. We
but
don't know.
Tamika, here's the thing. In order for something to be a tradition, you would have to do it. I think a tradition happens only like 4 or 5 years for it to be a tradition.
Yeah.
This is 2 times. That don't to me doesn't sound like a tradition. That sounds like you're a bad parent.
Yes, it does. That's why I forgot. That's why I was like, wait, it's only been 2 years? Because they
Well, a
said
year. It's
a
been a
year.
year.
It was like, well, they said it's a tradition. I'm like, dang, how many times y'all left him? When are we going to call protection
What I want to
service?
know is a prequel story before this happened. Before he was left home alone by himself the first time.
Like, did she give birth to him and went home and was like, oh no, I left him in the hospital?
And then you have Fuller who's pissing next to him as a baby.
That's the prequel. She's like, oh no, I left him at the hospital. I
And it's
just had
Frank.
the baby and I left him.
It brings that Subway.
Yeah, eating subs. Like, oh, pass the cheese, pass the mustard, whatever.
Okay, so now Kevin looks out the window and discovers he's not in Florida. He soon discovers he is actually in New York City and is alone while his family's in Florida. Much to his preference, he engages in sightseeing around the city. Meanwhile, Harry and Mary have made their way to New York on a fish truck. Harry and Marv have made their way to New York on a fish truck. Sorry, I can't read my handwriting as well.
About Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Harry and Marv, have made their way to New York on a fish truck as well. After recently escaping from a prison in Chicago during a riot and planned their scheme, Marv ends up christens them as the Sticky Bandits after he covers his hands in double-sided tape and steals money from a donation bucket. He goes, hey, Marv, what? We're no longer called the Wet Bandits. We're now the Sticky Bandits. And
you know how sometimes they shoot in New York City just on site. Like there's nothing rehearsed. I wonder how much they shot this on site, which is
me
really
too.
cool. Nothing rehearsed.
Well, another thing I like is when Kevin's hanging out the window of the taxi cab.
Yeah.
And you see the sights of New York City. This is like a love story in a sense of how much people love New York and how much of a staple New York is. And you actually do feel like you're a tourist and going along for this ride with Kevin. And that's something I really like. It made me feel like I was actually visiting New York.
Yeah. And the Polaroid camera take the pictures instantly there.
Yeah, you have this giant Santa Claus that he's looking at. He also he's looking all over the place. I really like that. And then you have Marv and Harry that just escaped from prison. But what do you think of the setup to get to that point with Marv and them out in the fish area?
I thought it was fishy. I just can't go with that. Yeah. I would have liked to seen that whole that would have been too much. But that
Yeah.
escape, like, what kind of prison is this? That the security is lackluster, which again, I feel like John Hughes is telling us so much about Chicago. These people can break out of prison and then they're on a fish truck trying to plot more of their schemes.
Right. And also too, I mean, then you have Kevin who's knows that he needs a place to stay. He knows that he needs a way because sooner or later he knows that it's gonna be night. So and he's in a city that he doesn't even know. So of course he would want to stay the night somewhere. And he has that Plaza Motel recording still saved.
Oh, let's not forget he had his dad's money.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
really
that's also
helped him
another
out.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah. I did mention the fact that he still had his father's credit cards and his money and stuff like that.
Yep.
And and so at that point, whenever his mom goes, I don't even think he knows how to do a credit card. That's when he's already in the hotel. And then whenever the woman does that little 90s thing to run the credit card, which I miss that because I always wanted to work at a convenience store at a store and go like I was actually doing something, but
No, I don't miss it. I like the tab and then the insert.
But that's just such a 90s thing, though. An old technology on what we used to use and everything now.
Yes.
But then, of course, he calls up the hotel and he winds up using that little slow, robotic kind of voice. This is Kevin. This is Peter McAllister. I would like a 1-bedroom, please. A master bedroom. And I would like to have one of those keys to open the refrigerator.
Yes. Credit card?
No, got it. No problem.
And she fell for that.
Right. But don't forget, these are the finest idiots that you can get in New York.
Which again, I think John Hughes is just telling us so much. He likes Florida, sort of.
Sort of. But, and then, like I said, Kevin encounters a pigeon lady in Central Park and runs from her while crossing the street. He bumps into Harry and Marv, but we'll get into that a little later. But, another thing, too, is, okay, so you have that being played out where he goes into the hotel and he winds up telling this one woman this long story about his father being in this meeting. In this business meeting and everything. And she goes, "You're by yourself?" "Ma'am, I don't think so." "You mean a little kid like me making a reservation?" And he's basically telling her, how are you going to believe me that I would actually do something like that?
Yeah, you can't do that nowadays.
No.
I'm surprised he got that far.
Me too.
Even if that wasn't his dad and he was a pickpocketer, he's like, yeah, my dad gave me his credit card to check in. And they're
because he knows that meetings are boring, so therefore he told me I could run his credit card and stay here while he goes to the meeting.
Yes. And then that was when you had to call to make reservations and then go to the front desk.
Right.
That was a lot back then.
Yeah, that was a lot to do.
Yeah, it's counterintuitive. I'm like, okay, I call, okay, and then I gotta go to the front desk. Hey, I made a reservation, and then they gotta call. Was there a reservation?
I'll just go to the Days Inn if I have to work that hard. I'll just be real.
No. When you see the Plaza Hotel, he's like, oh, I gotta stay here.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you have Rob Schneider as the bellboy who winds up carrying his bag.
Yeah, he was also the policeman.
No, he wasn't. Ignore that. But, I like the fact that we actually get to see Rob Schneider being in this role. I really like him in this role. And then, of course, Tim Curry as the manager of the hotel.
Excellent. Cedric, don't count your tips in public.
Sorry, sir.
Sorry. Oh my God. Oh, okay.
But, I like the introduction to them. I thought this was a great introduction into who they are.
Yes.
Buffoons.
Yeah, especially he was like, well, time to give me a tip. And then he gave him piece of gum. And he's like,
Yeah.
"You know where that came from?" It's like,
Just thank you, sir, and then walks away. And yeah, and then after that happens, he goes on ahead and basically on his way to this is actually on his way to the Plaza Hotel. This is where Kevin encounters a pigeon lady in Central Park, like I said, and runs from her. While crossing the street, he bumps into Harry and Marv. He sees them briefly, but dismisses it as a fragment of his imagination. Marv has a run-in with a model who slaps him for touching her purse. Kevin goes to the Plaza Hotel, which he had heard mentioned on a game show the night before, makes a reservation by using a talk boy to make it sound like an adult, and checks in, like we said, and pretending to be on vacation with his father, using Peter's credit card from his wallet. He asks where the lobby is, and Donald Trump, the hotel's owner, directs him down the hall and to the left.
That John, I thought we were gonna skip that part.
Okay. As he strays
Moving on, child. We gotta keep the listeners.
Okay. As he stays over, Kevin discovers an indoor swimming pool and has ice cream as well as food from the room service while watching Angels with Even Filthier Souls, a sequel to Angels with Filthy Souls.
Even filthier souls. Yeah, then he got. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No. The film's shooting only startles him that night. The hotel concierge, Mr. Hector, breaks into the suit and suspicious of Kevin. However, Kevin finds him off by a clown balloon in the shower. As Kevin plays a recording, he managed to capture Frank singing in the shower and breathing Kevin, causing Hector to flee. Meanwhile, in Miami, the McAllister's family reaches the rundown Villa Dolphin, which Frank comments did not look as bad as on his and Leslie's honeymoon. Kevin looks through his father's address book and finds that his uncle Rob lives there and decides to potentially come by his house, as Kevin thinks that he usually brings out nice gifts. Kevin looks out his hotel window and says goodnight to his mother, as she does the same in Florida. So, what do you think of this scene?
Hold on, I gotta go back.
Okay, so let's go on ahead. Let's talk with Angels with Even Filthier Souls. Let's go with that.
Oh, yes, I know what I was gonna say. Yeah, and then he was giving him ice cream. He was like, 2 scoops, sir. He was like, 2, make it 3. I'm not driving. I'm like, what the hell?
He's living the dream, though.
I wanted that when I was a kid. I was like, I want that. I want to be in a bed and somebody serve me ice cream.
That's what I wanted, though, too. But then again, the closest I got to that was in first class in an airplane on an accident.
Oh, nice.
Because my mom and I missed the plane over in Texas, so they gave us vouchers, and we didn't know that those seats were comp seats for first class.
Nice.
So I got a hot fudge sundae.
What?
And I got a hot fudge sundae. On top of that, a steak and a baked potato.
Oh my God! I gotta get in first class. I gotta get in first class. I gotta do it at least once.
But that was like as close as I could get to Home Alone 2 with Kevin being served 3 scoops of ice cream.
Man, yes. Like I said earlier, when I saw the film first couple of times, I wanted to go to New York and I wanted the Home Alone experience. Like I wanted to go to the Plaza Hotel and I saw all this stuff he was doing and I was jealous. I was like, I want to jump in the pool too. I want 3 scoops of ice cream. I want to watch movies. I want to do all this stuff that he did. I want the Kevin McAllister tour, And then when I finally went to New York as an adult, I was like, ooh, this the other side of Home Alone. Oh my God. It's not the Home Alone. It's not the friendly beginning of Home Alone 2. This the latter part of Home Alone 2 that I got into.
My other thing though too is I like how they changed up the Angels with Filthy Souls with Angels with Filthier Souls.
Filthy. Yeah.
And he hold it right there. It's me, Johnny. I knew it was you. I could smell you getting off the elevator.
Oh.
It's Gardenia's. Johnny, your favorite. You was here last night too, wasn't you? I was singing at the Blue Monkey last night.
Yeah.
You was here. You were smooching my brother.
No.
It's a dirty lie, Johnny. Sorry, go on ahead.
Johnny, no. You were smooching all these other people.
No, don't give me that. You've been smooching with everybody. Snuffy, Al, Leo, Little Mo with the gimpy leg, Cheeks, Bonnie, Bob, Cliff. I can go on forever, baby.
It's a dirty, rotten lie.
All right, I believe you, but my Tommy gun don't.
Get down on your knees and tell me you love me.
Yeah, get down on your knees and tell me you love, baby. I'm all over the moon for you. You got to do better than that.
Something about Johnny would have to catch two. If my love was an ocean, Johnny would have to catch 2 flights to cross it, or something like that. She said.
No, because if my love was an ocean, Lindy, I have to take 2 airplanes to get across it.
Yes, and I was like, just 2.
Maybe off my hinges, but I believe you.
That's why I'm a 3.
That's why. Right. This is where he goes. That's why I'm going to let you go. I'm going to give you till the count of 3. Yeah. Get your lousy, lying, low down, 4 flushing carcass out my door. 1, 2. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal, and a Happy New Year.
Yeah, and he still can't look at it. He's like, "Oh my god, oh my god."
He knew what he was getting signed up for. He saw the first one.
Yeah, he was like, "She's toast," and then she got shot. He's like, "Oh my god, oh my god, violence."
But also,
this guy is dangerous. Okay, and the gangster in the movie, he shot her, and he's like, "Merry Christmas, you filthy animal, and a Happy New Year." And then he shot again. I'm like, "She's dead." It's overkill.
You can't be so sure, though. You can't be so sure.
Oh yeah, she may come back as a zombie, so you gotta do it.
Right, exactly.
Shot. Okay, got it. But then you gotta say Happy New Year when you do it too.
I like how Hector breaks into his room, and then he quit. And of course, Kevin's scared of his wits, so he goes on ahead and gets the clown, ties up some rope, and starts being a puppeteer again. And I want to know how he got the clown to actually shake his fist.
I want to know how he set all that up so quickly.
Hollywood magic to me.
Okay, got it. Sorry. Okay, I play along. Yeah. He had some strings or something, and he was pulling it with pencils. And that's when I found out, like I said, on this day in history day, it was cool jerk, not coochie.
Right. I'm a cool jerk. Yeah.
Get out of here, you nosy little. If you saw a silhouette like that,
you little pervert.
Like, is that real? What is that? So slap you silly. Oh, you're cooking, Frank guy. Oh my god.
What's ironic though is Tim Curry played it, and he got afraid of a clown.
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's so ironic, and it looked like him too.
Right.
And then he put the shower cap on the clown. I'm like, okay. It is like,
but get out of here, you little jerk.
That's how you see it.
But then also too, then you also have where they're now, you get that other scene with them being in Florida with Frank and Kate and Peter and all them are in Florida, and it's raining. And I thought to myself, why would you want to go to Florida of all places?
I never knew
during the winter.
Downgraded. He must have
got laid off.
Yeah.
I don't think he got laid off though, because he got a lot of money up inside his wallet from Kevin. Kevin's got his money.
I don't know why they went to Florida. They went to Paris first, and then they downgraded to Florida. No offense, but it seemed like a well-to-do family, and they going to Florida.
But yeah, then the next morning, Kevin goes to the hotel lobby where Hector apologizes for supposedly walking in on his father's shower. However, Kevin tells him that his father has already left. The hotel provides Kevin a ride through New York in a limousine. I want as well as his very own cheese pizza, Coca-Cola in the movie How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Before asking if there are any good toy stores in the city, back at the hotel, Hector looks through the hotel records and finds that Peter's credit card has been reported stolen, much to the delight. Meanwhile, at an ice skating rink, Marv and Harry discovers an ad on Duncan's toy chest, and they plan to rob the store, deciding that nobody would expect it.
You can do the voice, Mr. McAllister.
Mr. McAllister.
Mr. McAllister.
Lovely to see ya.
Yeah, cheese pizza.
Your cheese pizza, sir.
Compliments for the
Have a lovely day.
Have a lovely day. Sorry, what?
But I like how, as this film is being played out with the Grinch, and then you have the scene with him looking at the credit card to see if it's stolen.
Yes.
And that little light bulb all of a sudden just starts working as if maintenance just went on ahead and fixed it at the right time.
Can I also say that Joe Pesci, I don't know what was scripted or not, but you remember though they were at the skating rink and the pigeons were all over. He was like, "Get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here! Get!" And I noticed the guy next to him, which I don't know if it was an extra or a real person. He was like, "Lord have mercy! Why are you beating those?"
I noticed the guy's face. I didn't notice that. I need to go back and rewatch that then.
Get out of here! Get out of here! Get out! What is it?
But I like it when he goes, what did Marv say to Harry though? He's like, because Harry was the one who thought of robbing the toy store, because he goes, I forgot what he says, but Harry winds up having the idea of robbing the toy store.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Marv does, and so he's like, what the best thing is? Nobody will expect. And I like the toy store. I like Duncan's toy store, to be honest with you.
Which was it a real place? Do you know?
No, it's not a real place. Because I remember this way before you and I decided to do a review on it. But there's this YouTube channel where they actually went to New York and went to different places and was doing the locations.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That needs to be a real tour, by the way. I would totally go on it. The Home Alone 2 tour.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But this is a toy store that I would go to because it's not oversaturated with like all the electronic stuff or anything like that. Mm-hmm. It is a very classic and classy toy store.
Mm-hmm. Very classy. Yes. I like it.
And I love Duncan. Duncan is the nicest old man from the Rookie of the Year movie.
Yeah, and he has donuts too.
Yep. See what you did there. Okay, we're not here to talk about donkeys.
We're gonna cut that. We're gonna cut that in print.
No, we're not. We're leaving that in. But I like how Kevin winds up giving him $20 of his dad's money to charity.
Here's for those poor children, $20.
Well, he's also getting fireworks, a dragon toy, it looks like, and some other stuff.
Oh, yes, that's what he got, fireworks. Because he went to that, it was like an Asian store.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what he got. Okay. Yeah.
You see, I always thought that he got it over at Duncan's for some reason.
Yeah, I was like, where are these fireworks from? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But I like how Duncan goes, take some turtle doves.
Yeah.
Because I thought they were part of a song. And then I like how he explains what the turtle doves mean and the meaning behind it.
Yeah. It was a really nice magical moment.
I really like that. It made me think, okay, people from New York are actually nice.
Yeah. Old men in toy stores are really nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. And then it made me think more. I think I never forgot that speech, like about the turtle doves. I'm like, oh wow, yeah. Like every time I think about it, I think about that scene.
Same here. Every single time I think of like a KB's toy store or something like that, I think of Duncan's for some
No,
reason.
no,
No?
no.
Okay.
KB's is trashy compared to Dunkin's torches.
True. That's true. That's very true. Even Toys R Us can be is also trashy compared to Duncan's.
There
You
aren't.
can't compete with Duncan's.
Are there any more? There's toy stores, right? Are there any more?
To be honest with you, there's actually one in New Orleans over
Oh,
in the mall that I went to.
oh wow. Okay, cool.
So yeah, there's still toy stores around.
Okay.
But also too, you also see Marvin Harry in these little doll houses too.
Okay, so I want to ask you, do you think that was a brilliant plan that Marv had?
No one would actually expect them to already be in the store because the dollhouse is already made. No one's going to think to look inside the dollhouse,
Unless it's a kid that wanted to play in it.
right? But my only thing is, how good is the security cameras in that store?
Did they even have any? Because I didn't even know how they got in. They popped in and like Marv. I'm like, whoa, where did they come from? Jesus. We had this touching moment about turtle doves and then
But yeah, then you have that scene where once again you have Marvin Harry who then bigly chase. Okay, so this is another thing that happens after he winds up taking the turtle doves and things like that. He then instructs them to keep one and give one to someone else as a symbol of their friendship. Fascinating. Kevin leaves the store and while looking at his map for directions, runs into Marvin Harry, who then eventually chased him. During the chase, Kevin managed to lose the bandits by making them slip on a necklace beads and retreats to the Plaza Hotel by Hector suggests turning over to the police after discovering the credit card was stolen. Kevin makes a run for it as Hector and the other hotel staff give to chase while Kevin becomes devastated that he committed a credit card fraud. While packing up to leave the hotel, he takes an available flight to Miami. Kevin fights off the hotel staff by playing angels that with even filthier souls, making them think an armed guest has opened fire in the hotel.
Mm, 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 mm.
So
Yeah.
a lot happened.
So Kevin has showed us that his traps are very practical because he just bought beads off the street and he just tore them apart and just put them there and they chased and fell on the ground. So
Right.
it's like, oh, cool. You can buy beads and you can make people fall on the ground. Nice. Thanks, Kevin.
Right. And with my luck though, I'll be trying that as I'm running. And I'll somehow probably slip and fall on my own on my own beads or something, you know?
Ah,
That would be my luck.
terrible, John.
Or I don't
Terrible.
even or the beads are not as breakable as it was predicted into the movie, and I'm still trying to break them off.
That's true.
So I just go in and fling it.
Yeah. You can do damage with that too, you know.
Right, exactly.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah,
then
when he ran to the hotel. It's like, what's the matter? Hey, yeah, stolen credit card.
there's no little credit
He
card.
is so over the top. Like, I'm like, whore. Not the hotel staff. I'm actor.
Go
Shakespeare.
to that door.
It's like doing Shakespeare as a hotel clerk.
All we needed was a be a musical number. Go through
Oh
the
my
door.
Yeah, I wish they need to make this into a musical.
And then he slides underneath the woman's legs.
card.
Credit card.
Get back here! Stop that child!
Stop that child. No, I will not stop that child. Stop that child.
Stop
Oh yeah, you have Queen that's actually doing the soundtrack for the musical.
God.
Instead,
Oh, but that was a neat scene though. He went between that lady's legs
Yeah.
and slid into the elevator. Which I think is the same time he went between somebody's legs.
He slides through it like a baseball, like goes sliding into home plate, goes underneath her legs, jumps up, and he has enough time to go upstairs, make a new reservation for another flight over to Miami.
No, that's the ticket he had before, right?
I think
He can do
so.
a new one. Oh,
I don't.
well, I know. I want to know how many people have tried that baseball slide into the elevator. Was that successful for you?
But you know what else I don't get though?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he does take an available flight over to Miami,
Yes.
but remember his boarding pass got lost.
Right.
So there is maybe a little bit of a, you know,
Yeah, there's some plot holes.
with that, but I understand why they needed it for the bit and everything too. And then of course you have everybody, the baggage people. You got Rob Schneider. You had Al, who happens to be something that Angels with Filthier Souls mentions.
Cliff.
Yep.
Yeah. 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 Which I did they think that was the dad? I mean, it was just him and the dad. It's like, who is this guy? And he just conversating with this guy on TV, not even knowing.
Right. And then everybody's looking at Cliff. It's not me. I don't know this person. I don't know who this is.
Sir, you're mistaken.
Sir, you're certainly mistaken.
Down on your knees and tell me you love me. I love you.
I love you. And then I like how they look at everybody else. He goes, "Come on, get down too. You guys are involved in this. We love you."
You. And then he's shooting, and it's like, there's an insane guest with a gun.
And they're crawling like they're in the army. And I'm thinking to myself, you guys do know that there would have been bullet holes, right? That was going.
Man, I'm telling you, John, when you hear guns, you don't look, you just duck.
No, your adrenaline just takes over.
Just
survival is your next thing. I get it.
Yeah, but Kevin was good with the pauses, though.
Yes.
Because, like, he was like, you was here too last night, too, wasn't you? I can tell because I smelled you getting off the elevator or something. And he was like, okay.
But then you have Kevin that flees the hotel only to be captured by Marv and Harry. Marv takes his ticket and notes that he is on a round trip to Miami and told him that he got on the wrong plane, and Harry rips his ticket, thus ensuring that Kevin would not get back home to Chicago or Miami with his family, as they plan to take their revenge on Kevin for sending them to prison. Marv boasts to the plan to the toy store. To rob the toy store, and Kevin secretly records with his talk boy, and Harry warns Kevin to keep his mouth shut because he has a gun. While waiting at a crosswalk, Kevin gooses the same woman that Marv met the day before, making her strike both Harry and Marv in the process, and Kevin says thank you, and she allows Kevin to thank her for saving his life before he escapes in the back of a handsome cab and realizes that he wants to go home. The bandits lose him and figure that he is no longer a threat to them, as he had no home in the city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. He's in the park, which I'm glad that I know some people didn't really care for Home Alone 2, I guess, because it was a little bit darker. But I'm glad they showed that justification of when he first came to the city, right? You come to New York and you're like, oh my God, it's magical, whatever. And just seeing how, as a kid or anybody that's lost in New York and you don't have anywhere to stay, and it's nighttime, and he's seeing all the threats of the city, like prostitutes,
He's seeing the real deal.
homeless guys telling him, watch it, kid. And he's in the cab, and this guy's face looks like it got mauled off. And he's like, it's not pretty in here either. Like, he's seeing all these dangers of, I'm a kid and I'm lost in New York and I don't know what I'm doing. I miss my parents. Like, that's a cautionary tale right there for children. Like, yeah, it's nice to get away from your family, but there's threats and dangers out there in the city. So
Right.
I'm really glad they put that in the movie.
Me too. I'm glad that they have that sense of danger and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, which is, I guess, just like you said, you Home Alone 1, you're riding from that wave of, oh, it's like family friendly, which you look at it and you're like, ooh, it's kind of dark. But I guess just being in New York City and dark and all this other stuff, some people just didn't really care for it.
No, I don't think they did. But I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
But, you know, I like the fact that they used the same beat that they did last time where Kevin winds up making the model slap Harry in the face and he winds up running away and everything, and she saved his life. I like that part to it. Also like the whole idea of them capturing him and he's in danger. They rip up the plane ticket. Goes, well, you're not going to go anywhere. You might have an appointment with the Undertaker.
I know. And then he said, I got a gun in my pocket. I'm like, Jesus. My Lord. He mean business. I'm sick of you. I'm going to kill you.
Right. After only 1 year.
Yeah, I'm sick of you. I got a gun in my pocket this time. You ain't going to get away. It's like, okay.
And then, of course, you know, you have Marv telling Harry to shut up because he's actually giving him the details of everything that's happening with Duncan's toy store that they want to rob.
Marv probably can't find another person like for his buddy to rob.
No.
If he's with this buffoon that's telling all their business. He did that in the last movie.
Right. And he even did it in the police car though too whenever they arrest him.
Yeah. I'm like, you can't find a new person? This is all you got? Okay.
Okay. This is all I got. This, you know, we've been friends since high school. We go.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm making a side story for
Yeah. Yeah. We've been together since high school, you know, candy
GED
store.
class.
Yeah, we made it. We're robbing toy stores now.
But, you know, then after that happens, Kevin is, of course, tracked down. The McAllisters watch a Spanish dub of It's a Wonderful Life, despite their terrible time there because of the rainy weather and them staying at the cheap hotel. They suddenly receive word that the police that Kevin has been tracked down in New York. Peter's credit card. Peter asks if they have Kevin, to which they reply he is at large. After the police instruct them to find an available flight to New York, Kate instructs the family to pack up and becomes worried that Kevin is now on the run, fleeing the hotel out of fear. With the staff questioned him when the staff questioned him about the credit card. That Peter then suggests that Kevin could have taken refuge at Robin Georgette's house in the care of the house sitter. But Kate thinks they are in Paris. What's this family up to with Paris?
I don't know what kind of businesses they got. And okay, so the cheap motel that they got in Florida, does that mean the dad had all the money and they were going to stay in a nicer hotel in Florida?
No, I'm thinking that Uncle Frank is the one that flipped the bill for this. I think Frank is the one who flipped the bill for it because remember, he wound up saying, well, it wasn't like this during our honeymoon.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking
plan the trip, sort of.
I think that's why they downgraded because Frank flipped the bill this time.
He don't need to plan no more trips.
No, worst trip ever.
I had a trip similar to that long ago, and I was like, oh, Jesus. And that made me think about that scene. I was like, ugh, it's like the scene with Uncle Frank.
As their New York home is in the process of being renovated. So Robin Georgette's house is being renovated. And then, of course, you wind up seeing Kevin going over to their house thinking that he could stay there, but he can't because it's being renovated. No one's even home because remember he goes through the whole entire mail slot peeking into the house. But then Kate is worried about Kevin being alone out on the streets and stuff like that. So did you want to talk anything about that scene, or you're good on that?
It's a real fear. He's alone on the streets of New York City. He probably kidnapped or whatever happened. So yeah, I would be very afraid for my child just running around New York City.
Right. You know what? I want to know how much that limo ride cost, Kevin.
Yeah, the Plaza Hotel, the limo ride, the cheese pizza, and what else did he have? Whatever else he spent.
How the Grinch stole Christmas. You're right.
Yeah, that probably was more than $967.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, of course, upon arrival, the family heads to the Plaza Hotel and confronts the staff for letting Kevin check into a hotel room by himself and letting him escape after discovering the credit cards was stolen. And they were about to confront Kevin. The staff offers the family complimentary suit for losing their son as a token of apology, while Kate decides to go out and look for Kevin herself, despite the protests of Pete and Mr. Hector. The later whom Kate slaps, which I love, for letting Kevin escape. He advises her to bundle up. It's awfully cold outside. Which she takes seriously.
What did the parents expect them not to confront him if there was a stolen credit card?
Right.
They were going to confront him as part of the policy.
Right. And it's not their fault that he got left on to New York. That's Kevin's fault.
Yeah, that is.
But
Kevin.
They should expect that there's the hotel's policy. If something comes up as a red flag, you have to confront the person. You can't allow them to still be in the hotel room.
Yeah. Privilege.
Right. Mr. McAllister.
They wanted him to stay, keep him in the hotel, even though he stole the credit card.
Your dad said he'll be right there.
Yeah.
So enjoy your filthy movie. With your stolen credit card.
Yeah. I'm like, don't be getting mad at him. Be mad at yourself and your son.
But it's white people. I'm kidding. But I do like how he's what kind of people do you have? But I also like how she says this. What kind of people do you have over here that's running this hotel? What kind of stupid idiots? Only the finest in New York.
Finest in New York. I'm an actor.
Expert an actor.
Man, that's slap. Woo.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's
yeah. Like, and then he was crying too. I was like, dang, slapped the piss out of him.
He meant business, but I'm actually surprised he didn't call security on her and have her arrested for assault, though.
She a redhead. No.
Yeah, never mind.
No.
So, using his father's address book, we talked about this. Kevin tracks down the home of Uncle Rob and Aunt Georgette, only to find that it's undergoing renovations when he discovers that Rob and Georgette are still aboard on Paris. While wandering the streets, Kevin gets scared of a muttering lady that coughs, a guy looking into a garbage can, a man that bumps into him, making him trip over a scary man yelling, "Watch it, kid," and laughs at him while walking away. And then two ladies that tease him. But now this is a little creepy for me, okay? Even as an adult now, and treating him like a baby and asking him if he's looking for someone to read to him a bedtime story, which Kevin tries to ignore. Finally, he meets an intimidating taxi driver, which reminds me of the movie Scrooged, the taxi driver from Scrooge from Bill Murray.
I gotta go back and see that. But yeah.
When he attempts to get a ride, when the taxi driver turns around, he tells Kevin he is not much better in the taxi, but Kevin is horrified and surprised by the taxi driver's monstrous face. He immediately exits the taxi and flees to the park. So this is what we were talking about with the fact that what you liked about that.
Yes, but that also is exactly the New York that I saw. All of those people muttering to themselves, the prostitutes, the homeless guy that yell at you. I was like, "Yep, this is it."
It gave
That's the
us
New
the
York
New
I went to.
York experience.
Yeah, that's the New York experience I got. I didn't get the part one Home Alone 2 experience. I was like, what is this? What's going on?
But yeah, I mean, I like the fact that they actually, it was a little bit of realism to make you be scared of being alone in this area and
Yes.
seeing the prostitutes, seeing the guys talking to himself, the guy puking into the. I like how scary it looks because it's supposed to be scary for a kid because everything is supposed to be larger than life because of how small he is.
Yes.
And even the taxi driver's also scary too, because look, he has those big old huge ass lips. He's got that little cat taxi driver kind of vibe to him and stuff like that too. So
Yes.
I like
Exactly.
that.
Exactly. Yes. It's supposed to be scary. He went down the rabbit hole and he is trying to look for his home. But also, this is him getting outside of his bubble. You know, that
Yeah.
suburban bubble. He's really in the city. So that in itself can be a whole nother podcast about him stepping out of the suburban bubble into the city life and the street life, whatever. But yeah, and then seeing the pigeon lady, and he's like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god!"
But I also like how he meets her and then he's scared of her. Because that would scare me too if I see a lady with
No,
a bunch of birds
no,
all
I'm
over
just
her.
yeah. Go ahead.
No, you go on.
I was just thinking about it as now that he screamed in her face. Ah! I'm sorry, I screamed in your face. I'm like, it came back. Hey, I'm sorry, I screamed in your face. That wasn't nice. Like, oh yeah, it wasn't nice.
But I like how he winds up apologizing to her though for being
Yeah,
scared and
after he
screaming.
screamed in her
I do.
face.
But that was, to be honest with you, Tamika, be honest. You would actually freak out though too as a kid if you seen that.
Yeah,
Seen
I
birds
would
all over
freak out,
somebody.
but I wouldn't be going back and saying, "I'm sorry, I screamed in your face." I would have
I'm
been
sorry, you
no.
scared me, and the reason why I screamed in
No,
your
I wouldn't
face.
be giving no reasons. I just scream and go. I don't know where I'm going,
But
but I'm gonna find some place.
and I like how she admits that she was trying to help him and tells her that she's telling and tells her if she's bothering him, he better be happy. He'd be happy to leave. The pigeon lady responds in the negative and would like someone keeping her company. Kevin complains about the weather being so cold and treats the pigeon lady to some hot chocolate. He treats her, and she is blessed with the invite to the Mint Central Park, which I thought was really great. While Kevin asks go somewhere warm, and the pigeon lady desires to for a perfect place to warm up. The two watches a Christmas concert in the loft among the Cambridge Hall, where the pigeon lady tells Kevin about her life and falling apart and how she dealt with by taking care of the pigeons in the park, leading to her current distraught and homeless state. He promises to be someone she can trust. She said she would not be making promises that if he could not keep them.
Yeah, which is another touching moment in the movie. But also she's explaining like, she wasn't always like this. She had a family. I think she was married, but then the
Yeah,
man that she was married to betrayed her. And she's telling this deep stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, that's kind of like me." And then I had this skateboard, and I'm like, "No, sir, that is not the same. That is not the same." It's I think he said I had a pair of skates, and I didn't wear them. And then when I came back, they were too big for me. So you should open your heart up and love people. And she's like, "What the fuck?" I got to do it. What I just said.
you see you going, this
But
kid,
then
what the fuck does
again,
it have?
he is 10, so he doesn't have a concept of heartbreak or
He's
love
trying to be Oprah.
in his 10-year-old world. He's like, yeah,
Right.
so it's the same. You got to open your heart up, or else you'll outgrow it. So what's the point of using it? And I was like, what?
That skates to a heart. That does not.
He
I agree.
telling her, well, you gotta open your heart up. That's all. With his 10 years of experience, he telling her, you just gotta open your heart up. That's your problem.
I'll be like, yeah, whatever, kid. But I like how after that sweet moment, it's like, oh wait, I gotta go do booby traps now,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I call it Operation Ho Ho Ho. What?
No, John, no.
Okay. As Kevin leaves and takes the streets again, he goes by the children's hospital and
Take
sees.
to the streets. I'm a gangster.
I run these streets. I
Yeah.
walk these streets.
Yeah,
I've been
you
in
tell
here
him,
for
Kevin.
3 days. I'm in a hotel room.
Yeah, you tell him, Kevin, the streets is yours.
But he turns into Batman at this point, right? He sees the sick child and giving him a look of compassion, remembering what Mr. Duncan and Marv said earlier that day. Kevin decides to prevent the bandits from robbing the toy store and rushes back to Uncle Rob and Georgette's home. And Kevin uses renovation materials to set up a series of booby traps throughout the home.
Yeah.
I like how he looks at the children's hospital and those echoes of all the dialogue that we had from earlier that day.
Yeah.
And he all of a sudden turns into Batman. He goes, I like how he winds up going like this. They cannot mess with the children on Christmas.
This is my city.
This is my city.
I run these streets.
I run these streets.
From the streets now. Name is Kevin G. Or whatever.
Kevin G. McAllister.
No.
Not related to Kenny G.
I run these streets.
I run these streets. I know these streets.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then that's when he saw Marv and Harry.
Yeah.
In the toy store, and then did the thing.
Yeah, go on ahead. You can break that down.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They ran and saw Marv and Harry in the toy store grabbing the cash, and then he got a brick because he from the streets.
He don't mess around. He learned that from Craig from Friday.
Smashed that window in slow motion, fool. From the screen.
And he also takes a snap. Remember, he also takes a snapshot though too with the Polaroid.
Yeah, Marv was like, "How's my hair?" Oh my gosh!
But he also has a note tied to Mr. Duncan's thoughts with the store window. Harry then runs out the window and steps on the end of the seesaw. But before he can warn Marv not to jump on the other end, Marv jumps on the runs up on and sends Harry flying into the air and causing him to painfully land on the roof of a parked car nearby. The duo chase Kevin to Uncle Rob's house, wherein they ask him to throw down his camera, and they promise not to hurt him, but instead of his camera, Kevin throws 4 bricks at Marv from the rooftop.
You see, he had to bait them, otherwise his traps are useless. I did all this work to set up these traps. Somebody's getting hurt tonight. I'm Kevin from the streets.
Now you turn it into a musical like Rent.
Kevin from the streets.
Kevin from the streets.
Throw bricks in windows, son.
But though, I like how when they said, "Look, he has nothing. He doesn't have no home. He can't get us or anything. We're fine.
We're fine."
Okay, kid, throw down the camera. Okay, throws a brick down. Wham! And he hits Marv.
Yeah.
And then he goes on ahead and goes, "Okay, kid. Okay. We promise that we won't lay a finger on you if you throw down the camera.
Yes.
Okay? All right." And then he throws another one. But on that 4th one, I remember the line where he winds up going, "You don't have any, kid, if you don't throw down the camera now, I am going to come up there," or something to that effect.
Yeah.
And he goes, "You don't have any more bricks?" Harry, yeah. He doesn't have any more. Marv, he does not have any more bricks. At that point, Kevin throws another last brick down.
Yeah.
And hits Marv upside the head with it.
Yes. And then he's like, "I dare you, throw another brick." Then, of course, he moved out the way and hit Marv in the face, which Marv should have been like concussed or dead or something. But this is like Looney Tunes style. So,
Yep. Yeah. The duo split up with Harry trying to go to the back of Marv and goes to the front door. After limping on the staircase, Marv pulls on the doorknob, which is attached to a rope tied to a staple gun that ends up firing into his buttocks, groin, and nose.
oh my gosh, yeah. But with each trap, you tell they have a little bit of PTSD because Marv was like touching the knob. He's like, okay, I can touch it.
Because I think the bricks was a clear indicator that just because he's out of town does not mean that he doesn't have anything.
No, they should have known that. I mean, we got those beads
right
earlier, and
but
they were
still,
running
he got that from a person on the street, though. Just basically just someone trying to earn money. This is just someone that they think that he still doesn't have a home anywhere that he can run to. So they think that they're kind of safe, but now it eliminates the fact that they're safe because of the bricks that he threw at them.
Yes, they
which
have
causes
entered
that PTSD.
his house of horrors.
And this is Saw once again.
Yes, the theory of Saw and Patrick Bateman come back. Because now he lured his victims to his house of horrors so that he can torture them.
But okay, so he pulls the staple and kicks the door open, but then falls through the open floor and lands in the basement. As he recovers, he tries to find a way upstairs after seeing a rope, but steps on a floor covered with monster sap soap, causing him to slip and slide into a shelf of paint cans, which falls on top of him. A paint-covered Marv frees himself from the shelf and goes to the nearby sink to wash himself off. But Kevin has hooked up an arc welder, giving Marv an electric shock. Reaching the hall with a rope, Marv attempts to climb it, but ends up pulling down a 100-pound weight bag of cement mix on his head.
Lord, that man should have been dead 5 times.
He should have been.
First he got electrocuted, and then we see his skeleton. And I'm like, okay. And then, like you said, the cement hit him on the head, and he's still moving.
But not only that, but okay, remember he goes, Harry, I reached the top. And then all of a sudden he just falls all the way down. He should have been dead right there.
Yeah, he's like, wow, what a hole.
What a hole.
And then he, the whole Daniel Stern scream.
Right. And him turning into a skeleton. As I was a kid, I was laughing my ass off.
Me too. Oh my God, that's why we're so messed up. Man, electrocuted. And we're like, oh my God, that's so funny.
Right? And I could just see my parents just looking at me laughing.
Oh my God, this is dark.
It's like I could see them going, we're going to have to send my kid to counseling.
Yeah. He's laughing at somebody getting electrocuted.
But Harry tries getting into the home via the fire escape, but falls and leaping on the ladder made slippery with monster sap soap. He kicks open the side door, causing a bag of tools with its contents to fall on his head. When he recovers, he cautiously makes his way through the house and turns on each light switch, which, he's basically just tapping each light socket, making sure that basically that nothing is going to happen.
Yes.
He enters the bathroom. He activates the switch, which triggers a blowtorch, setting his head on fire. He puts it out in a toilet bowl that happens to be filled with paint thinner, causing an explosion in the house.
He should have died right there.
But I like the fact that he's just walking around casually with his head on fire.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm there. But he is athletic though, because he did a headstand and went into the.
I gotta give it to Joe Pesci for that headstand. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was awesome. I mean, he should have died, but it was still awesome. He survived the explosion.
As Harry checks his teeth after the explosion, Marv climbs a stack of furniture to try and get back to the upper floor. As he reaches the top, The stack falls down, leaving him hanging. Kevin moves past them, and Harry chases him up a ladder, which breaks under his weight. Marv
Moves
climbs.
fast. Go ahead.
No. Go on ahead.
No, I was just laughing at the description, just moving past him. This man dangling for his life. Excuse me.
And Harry chases him up the ladder, which breaks under his weight. Marv climbs the rest of the way up and goes to Harry's aid. The bandits reunite at the point of the stairs, dodging paint cans since they realize that this happened the previous time they tried to catch Kevin. However, they did not expect an iron bar that Kevin swings at them, hitting them, sending them back to the basement where the bar lands on them again. They make their way out of another stack of furniture as Kevin taunts them. They reach the second floor and try to set the try the set of stairs to the third floor. The doorknob pulls down a tool chest that crashes them and breaks the door off its hinges in the process.
Okay, so when the pipe, like you said, hit them and they fell back in the hole, that's how sadistic Kevin G is. He gonna stay there and wait for them to get out the hole. He's like, no, I gotta finish all my traps. They gotta go through all my traps. I'm just gonna wait for them to climb out the hole so I can go to my next trap. But I want to see them in pain.
He's like the OxyClean guy, but wait, there's more.
There's more. Yeah, because the normal person, when they fell down the hole, like, okay, cool, let me run to the police. Not Kevin G. Kevin G said, I need to see them in pain. I need to see them. I didn't do all this hard work for them not to go through each and every one of my traps.
I'm going to go through all this.
I'm going to go through all my traps tonight.
Then, boy, do they. Kevin goes to the roof and climbs down a rope. The bandits reach the roof of by the time Kevin climbs down the sidewalk, and Marv tries throwing a brick at Kevin, but misses. They climb down the rope, but Kevin, having soaked with rope with kerosene, lights it on fire, causing them to fall through the scaffold and splattered with varnish. Kevin uses a payphone to report the robbery and bandits' location to the police, telling them to look for fireworks.
Yes, because that was the last of his traps. Then he called the police.
Right. After they put him through all this hell. Once again. This is why they didn't show up in the third one, because they like, look, fuck this, we're retiring.
We're going to stay in jail this time. We're just going to stay in jail this time.
I want to see Marv and Harry in prison, and they're trying to recover from all the damage Kevin did.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the lawyer's like, look, you're free to go. No, we're good.
Close that door.
Be like Dr. Evil whenever he was going to escape from prison with the blow plastic glass. He winds up shutting the door back so he can go back in prison.
Close that door. We ain't going out no more. Give us life. We'll just stay in here for life.
But I would be like, if I was the cops, I'd be like, is this Chinese New Year?
Yeah. Oh, I know I was going to ask you. You know, they pulled the doorknob and it was like, what's that sound?
Right.
Why does it just stay there? Oh, it seems like it's getting closer.
And then all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah. Why am I staying there?
If I hear something loud, that's not a good indication that you should still be there.
It's getting closer.
Sir. That's like being at a railroad track and being on the railroad track and saying, I think I hear something.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you see the little gates go down and there's the train.
Is that a train?
I think it's getting closer.
Come on, man. Yeah, but they go down the road and he's like, what's that smell? Oh, that's the road. It's soaked in kerosene. We just keep going down.
And then it dawned on him, wait, it's soaked with kerosene?
And then he's like, Merry Christmas. Like sadistic bastard Kevin G is. Merry Christmas. Whoosh. And then he watch them fall. Then he's like, okay, now I'm gonna call the cops. That's the end of my whole House of Horrors trap. This is my masterpiece.
Home Alone 2, House of Horrors.
My masterpiece is complete. Hi,
Right.
these guys are after me. Help.
But after his House of Horrors, like Tomeka says, Kevin flees, but the bandits catch him when he slips on a patch of ice. Taking the opportunity to settle their score with Kevin, they bring him to a seed, prompting pigeons to swap down on them and swarm them. Kevin flees and sets off fireworks that he bought earlier to signal the police, who arrest the bandits and discover that Kevin's photographs and tape recorder to use in evidence against them. I like how the tape it goes, bad guys planning robbery.
Kill me. Yeah, and it's like bad guys saying they'll kill me. I'm such the victim.
I'm the victim here.
I'm the victim. I lured them to my House of Horrors and tortured them for like 2-3 hours.
Could you imagine the police crossing tape at the house for the renovation?
What is all this stuff?
And could you think of the uncle and the aunt coming in?
No. Once again, parents don't know that Kevin at House of Horrors Part 2 has happened and he tortures criminals. They don't know.
This isn't somebody that they need, though. This is something that they need for their defense.
He was thinking about Buzz. That's what the inspiration for all these traps are. He's like, I'm sick of
This
Buzz,
was all laid out for Buzz.
and I'm going to take it out on these criminals.
Mm-hmm. At the toy store, while the police recovered their stolen money and tell Mr. Duncan that they arrested the thieves, recovered all the money and agreed to immediately send it to the hospital. A detective finds Kevin's note and gives it to Mr. Duncan, who discovers Kevin's role in catching the bandits and saving his store, much to his delight. My thing is this, okay? If you're going to give money to charity, why do you have it in this big-ass box out in the open in public?
Yeah, then he say like, oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. And then I think he said on Christmas Eve, he was going to take the money and bring it to the hospital. But yeah, why would you keep it in New York City?
Of all places, it's not like a little small ass town where you can probably trust Bob to do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this isn't the McAllister's neighborhood.
And even if it was, the police are not going to do anything.
No.
They don't want to do
the paperwork. That's what
John
Hughes said. That's what John Hughes said. I mean, he's dead, R.I.P., but you take it up with him.
Right. But now we got the recolonization and reunion when Kate looks for Kevin. I don't know. There's something about the music when they have the whole entire conclusion with Kate seeing Kevin and stuff like that. It always wants to make me cry.
Yes, and it was at Rockefeller Center. And then he had the giant Christmas tree lit up. And, yeah. And
then, of course, she goes over to the police officers and, telling them that her son's been missing. She doesn't even know where he's at. She remembers Kevin's fondness for Christmas trees and requests a ride to Rockefeller Center. As Kevin wishes for his mother to return, Kate's intuition proves correct as she then observes Kevin in front of the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. The two embrace and apologize to each other before returning to the plaza. As Kate explains that, like Kevin, the family didn't like the palm trees in Florida either. No, you just didn't like the fact that that Uncle Frank was a sheep ass and wasn't in no 5-star hotel, and Kevin was living it up in a 5-star hotel.
Yes. With your husband's credit card.
Right. But you know what, though? The music always gets me every single time.
Yes.
It always wants to make me cry. And remember, the first movie made me cry in the movie theater. And my mom's like, what's wrong? I was like, nothing. And I was like, I love you.
Oh.
So yeah, I was like really teary-eyed on the first one as a kid. It broke me as a kid.
Yeah. Oh.
But
John.
By Christmas morning, the toy store delivers a truckload of gifts to the Plaza Hotel as a reward for Kevin foiling the robbery. Fuller wakes up wakes everyone up, and dashed the upper floor to see the parents in the drawing room. Before everyone opens the presents, Buzz makes a speech declaring that they wouldn't be in the suit with the tree and the gifts if it hadn't been for Kevin getting on the wrong flight.
Yes.
Thus, he decides to let Kevin open up the first present before as a sign of reclination. The McAllisters then open their presents. So I thought that was a sweet moment with Buzz to finally not to be an asshole.
I was gonna go back to Fuller wearing silk pajamas, and he's pissy. I was like, "What?
That wasn't silk pajamas. They were so soiled with. They were soiled.
And he was sleeping with other people. I was like, "Who thought this was a good idea?"
Well, the good thing is, at least it wasn't Kevin who had to be bunking with him this time.
No, Kevin was. Oh no, Kevin was somewhere else. He was in another bed. That's right.
Right.
Well, I think that boy was by himself. But anyway, he was in silk pajamas, which
pissy, soiled pajamas.
Yeah. In the Plaza Hotel, pissing in their bed.
So while everyone else is opening their presents, Kevin runs out in the Central Park to give the pigeon lady one of the 2 turtle doves Mr. Duncan gave him and reaffirms his promise to her friend.
Yeah.
They smile at each other and then embrace.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was a nice, touching moment. I really liked the chemistry between him and the pigeon lady, and then, of course, seeing her with her family. I also like how he said to her, too, though, is, it's not really good for you to be smelling like fur crap. so, wait
a minute, that was it. That was at another scene. Though. That was in another scene. That wasn't
right, but I mean, I'm just talking about. I'm just going back to that part though, because it just dawned on me that
you just made it seem like he gave her the turtle dove. You should smell like bird crap. Merry Christmas.
I didn't realize I did like an extended version of. Oh my god, I am so sorry.
You should be smelling like bird crap. He has a turtle dove.
And I was going to say what the turtle dove, the bird woman said though too, because I had made it preventable from people being near me, haven't I?
Yeah, that was earlier in the movie.
Yeah, but I just wanted to bring that up for a minute.
Yeah,
but at the wrong time. But no, shortly after Kevin's room service bill from his original stay at the hotel, he is delivered to the suit. Buzz receives and examines it, keeping it to come to $967.43. He then shows it to Peter, who then suddenly yells, "Kevin, you spent $967 on room service," prompting Kevin to immediately run back to the hotel. And that's how it ends.
No, he ran. I don't know where he ran. It seemed like he ran deeper in the Central Park.
That's where I would have went. I want to go back to the hotel room. But my thing is this. You just saved a toy store.
Yes.
You ended up saving the children's hospital by giving the donation money to the children's hospital.
Yes.
In my and Kevin's defense, that should have been waived.
Not when it's your credit card.
Okay.
Like, I appreciate it, and we got this free room and stuff, but you spent $967.43 on my credit card.
Right. But no, I could see Tim Curry going on your credit card.
Stolen credit card. My God.
But all in all, this was a fun rewatch to be able to just watch and have fun with. I definitely enjoyed the second one as well. It's a 2-hour long movie, but you don't feel the runtime for it.
No, you don't.
But now you're established with these characters. You understand who these characters are. And you don't even have to worry about trying to get to know them because you already know them from the first movie. Mm-hmm. So that's something I really liked within itself. But yeah, I think it still holds up today and everything. I think it's still a great movie. I don't consider the third one good. As a matter of fact, I even thought that with the third one, I thought that they left out all the other stuff.
Yeah, the third one, I'm assuming they told people that this isn't the McAllisters for
No,
the third one.
but I knew it wasn't going to be the McAllisters. But I
Yeah.
thought it would. You know how the other one sets up the family dynamic and things like
Oh,
that.
yes,
I
yes.
thought it'd be more of a little bit more of a little slower pace and to be introduced to these new characters. But no, it was like very speedy to the point where it took me out of it.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of the plot. Well, The Pacifier. Have you seen that movie with Vin Diesel?
Yeah,
Home Alone 3 was kind of similar to that.
I got you.
You know, where the dad had some kind of spoiler alert. The dad had some kind of something, and these spies were trying to get a hold to it. I think his dad worked for the government or something, and the terrorists or
I
spies,
think so,
whatever.
something like that.
Yeah, it was very far fetched, and I was like, okay. And then the little boy was home alone because he got sick or something. And anyway, he took down all the spies and terrorists, and I don't know. It was just out there for me. And then I saw on the Disney Channel, there's like Home Alone 4, 5, and 6. I think there's about 6 in total Home Alone movies.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that this is the best two movies out of the Home Alone franchise. So
Yes. I think the other Home Alones are for the newer generation.
yeah, and I'm not gonna even bother with those.
Okay.
With those movies.
Home Alone is for Gen X and millennials.
But all in all, great film. Definitely recommend it. It's streaming on Disney Plus right now, of course. So guys, go ahead and check that out. That's going to be it as far as our reviews go for this year. But we will be back again for next year.
My
Yeah.
goodness. Oh, that's it for all your reviews? Like ever?
Yep. Not forever, ever. I'm going to be back in
I
January
mean,
sometime.
like ever, like this year.
For this year, yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
I'm honored to be your last guest.
Thank you, as you should be. This is a high honor for you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, John.
Very welcome. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it. I hope everyone has a great and safe day. And also, too, I just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. And I hope that you guys have a great and amazing holiday. And we'll see you guys next year.
Yes, you filthy animals.
You filthy animals. And your stolen credit card.
Ah.